changes have occurred since contract commencement in 2007. The financial position of the Council and a significant future budget gap, the direction of travel of the partners, and more electronic public interaction with local government. Of the 11 services put into South West 1, only 5 partially now remain. These cost £1.6 million per annum, approximately one-third of the original value, and just under 50 TDBC secondees remain. Contract end provisions are complex, and there is much to resolve, including potentially aggregating joined-up services, dividing staff between authorities and resolving skill shortages, separating some ICT infrastructure, finding a solution to SAP, and company dissolution. There are 3 broad phases of contract end, and this report considers phase 1, which is the detailed options appraisal. We need to identify and appraise future service delivery options, a costly business case and financial implications, HR advice regarding staffing implications and risks, to understand contractual implications and specialist legal advice, SAP system appraisal and replacement options, engagement with stakeholders, including staff and partners, and recommendations to enable them decision. Following corporate scrutiny, there is this additional information, and they ask that further information be provided regarding the breakdown of costs for phase 1 succession project. These are detailed in section 7 of the report. The information is provided in section 2 of that additional information the report will receive. In addition, corporate scrutiny also suggested that we obtain independent challenge and assessment of the review prior to no decision. Please note that the costs of an independent challenge have not been included in costings of £102,000 in total, and it is estimated that this work would require an additional £30,000. Corporate scrutiny also proposed 2 additional recommendations, which are now included as numbers 3 and 4 in the report recommendation. I therefore recommend to full Council that they note the position with regard to the expiry of the South West 1 contract, system replacement challenges, and the work needed to prepare the contract end. And then approve a supplementary budget of £47,000 funded from general fund reserves to enable officers to undertake the necessary work in phase 1, produce a detailed options appraisal and recommendations for decision. That the South West 1 succession planning work is aligned to support the work on organisational and service transformation, which is delivered to meet the community's needs and aspirations. And fourthly, that appropriate member governance is put in place to support this project.
Is there a second here, please? Councillor Horton.
Mr. Mayor, I'm rising in my capacity as Chairman of Corporate Scrutiny, which devotes a lot of time to this paper. We do have questions posed by Messrs. Albion and Conway also to the talk. And it turned out to be quite a fascinating discussion. And we're not in the blame game, we're looking at what's in the best interest for Taunton. Indeed, actually, we can pick up and learn from the mistakes that were made, but that I think is our role. I and 1 or 2 other members pursued the whole question of uncoupling the exit strategy from South West 1 with the actual client requirements that we need for back office, for IT, etc. And a lot of the debate was devoted to this particular thing. It's interesting, Councillor Lisco we are faced, we're between a rock and a hard place in many ways. And it was interesting that Councillor Lisco actually said, although I understand where people are coming from, I still think the options in front of us are going to cost us more if we do go down the path of uncoupling. And that is actually, because I think the case is still there, and it was heard today. They're going to give us preferred options, but it's a question of why aren't we leading what we need for Taunton Deane Borough Council in the current position we find ourselves in, rather than this mishmash of trying to disentangle on the one hand the exit strategy, and on the other hand trying to work out what our requirements are, how we cope with SAP, etc. So it was actually fascinating this way. So in essence, and the Section 151 officer came up with this amendment, the third amendment. I said to her afterwards, it's not member speak, it's officer speak to use language like that is aligned to support the work on organisation and service transformation, which is delivered to meet the community's needs and aspirations. What we want is a root and branch examination of how we best provide for the residents of Taunton Deane. And they must be uppermost in our minds. And I think we have failed so long, and this is true throughout the whole of the contract of South West 1, in my view. Right up to date, that we were driven by the county council, we were the minnows, and we have not, and therefore we have accommodated them without actually truly identifying what we want to get out of the contract. And that is actually one of the sadnesses of the South West 1 debacle, and I'm prepared to use that word.
Thank you, Councillor Mosley, for whatever.
Yeah, I'm in the process of finishing, Mr. Mayor, I can promise you.
The light one has for close to the
yeah, you can do what you like, Mr. Mayor. And I
light.
think that is okay. That's fine. It was a very interesting debate. You have these things before you. That's all.
Councillor Morrell, please.
I rise in my capacity as one of the few people who voted against it when it came forward. I am of the view at that time it was a project that, having three very separate organisations being joined together, was perhaps not going to work. I know a lot of people in this room have got good work in trying to carry forward and trying to get the project going and getting the best value for this authority. However, I'm of the view that we haven't actually, as Alan Devlin made reference to, apart from the two of us, really trying to chase up on the detail. And when we have chased up on the detail, it's never been forthcoming, it's always been hidden, and there's always been a smoke screen. And that is frankly quite deplorable and at best unprofessional. I'm of the view that that approach will only continue now. We're hearing tonight we want £47,000. However, we heard for those that it will be closer to 100,000. We're not actually being told what the true cost will be and actually how much taxpayers' money will be required. And for that reason, I think again we're falling into the same procedural trap that we fell down last time. Indeed, I remember last time when the council voted and approved South West 1 that we had an independent advisor there. He independently advised to go with IBM. And I'm of the view that again, if we do get a little independent, and I think we should, then it should be really sort of independent and doesn't have any allegiances at all with any provider or any particular preferred outcome. I suggested at corporate scrutiny, and I'm pleased that the committee put it forward, that we do look at the twin track approach here. We need as an organisation to know where we're going to be going in the future before we can actually look at the capacities required to be able to achieve those aspirations and objectives. And until we, and I'm disappointed we haven't got there yet, but until we know where we want to be going with a local authority, then what technology we need, I think, is secondary. However, it's important that we do get the work undertaken. One thing we do need to be very aware of is this council only recently provisionally approved Sweden County Hall. And if that's to be the case, then why are we spending a huge amount of money now when clearly they will have their own preferred providers and systems in place, and that I therefore won't be supporting the recommendation on.
Thank you. Councillor Williams, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, fellow councillors. Well, we have an awful lot of opinions coming forward. Councillor Hawkey says, not raising over the coals of what's gone before, we've got to be looking forward, which I totally agree with. Councillor Morell saying it would be totally inefficient not providing information. Well, I'm sure if information was asked for, it was provided. It may not be what the answer you wanted to see, but I would almost certainly guarantee the information was provided. Now, what I'm hearing is there wants to be plenty of member input. Welcome. You know, we've got a member steering group being set up. We can have as many members briefing sessions as you want to get the wider membership involved, and that can influence the member steering group. You know, if there are any other ways you feel that members should be involved, please come forward and let us know, because we want to deliver what is best for this community and this council. There's no question about that. That is what we're looking at. We have to give notice to South West Line 18 months before if we're going to terminate on the termination date. And that is what is wisely being carried out at the moment. It's looking at the risks that we're facing, looking at what we need to do to replace SAP if that's what we decide to do, and so that we can fulfil our contractual commitments. As for moving into county board, we have not said that we're linking in with the county board system. We will look at all the options available and what is best for Taunton Dean and the partners that we're likely to partner with. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Councillor Brand, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, I was at scrutiny the other night, and as Councillor Hawkey said, we had a very wide-ranging and quite interesting discussion. I think the point I really want to raise is the urgency around this. We have 30 months to sort this out. The contract finishes November 1st, 2017. We have to press the button on closing it or severing it a year from now. So actually we don't have an awful lot of time to play with. We've got the next 12 months to sort out what we want to do and where we want to go as a council, and then have a pretty good direction of travel lined up by that in order to make an informed decision 12 months from now as to what we want to do 18 months on when this contract is up for renewal or expires. And as Councillor Williams says, this does involve all of us. Those with us now who've got the experience. It also involves people who will be joining us come May. It is very important that we get together as councillors, with the officers and with our electorate to sort out where we want this council to go. Once we've got a clear idea of that, which I hope we can have perhaps by the end of the summer, we are then in a much better position to say what kind of systems we need to take us forward up to 2020 and beyond.
Thank you. Councillor Williams to reply, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you to Councillor Williams for answering the questions that were raised, and to Councillor Wren for pointing out that we are at the start of a very difficult but important journey for this authority. And I would therefore, again, put these recommendations to you for your support.
Just to clarify, that the recommendations were on this additional bit of paper that was tabled this evening. But on the back page, the recommendations are 1 to 4.
Might I ask these items to take it separately?
Yeah. One is carried. Number 2, all in favour? Any against? That's carried. Number 3, all in favour? Any against? That's carried. And number 4, all in favour? Any against? That's also carried. Thank you very much.